Okay, welcome back. I probably won't have that much time today for the second part because of a little misunderstanding earlier. So we'll try to see what I can get done with today, though. So yesterday we have the project file is saved now, and now all we have to do is load the project file. So let's go ahead and load metadata for room. Hmm. That's the metadata. And let's go to the next load. Load all rooms. Oh, I see. Load rooms. Okay, load all rooms, right? Load all rooms. Okay, so load metadata. Actually, that's just. I'll probably just copy this directly, but load metadata for room, and this is the only place, and then of course the actual. I'm gonna use this as sort of a template for the load project file. Let's do something here. Control V. Let's add. Yeah, let's add some semicolons and things here. It just this is the thing I like to do. Okay, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna say load project. File. And we're just gonna give it a file name. And we're not doing any of the room extension, replace. We're not doing the replace. Metapath equals file name, like that. Um, Actually, we're just gonna do this directly, I think. Plus file name. Let's make this plus file name. Like so. And we're gonna do this. Equals meta equals file access exist, open it, metadata, file at close. If metadata. Okay. Um, Let me think about this for a second. I think we're gonna set it directly. I'm not gonna use a string like I have up. See a function like this, right? This sets it, and then this sets the actual position and stuff. So we want position, and we want zoom, and we want X, and we want Y. Okay. See something here. I think let me think. Hmm. Just a second. Sometimes I'm just say part two because presumably everyone has saw part one or knows. So I used to stream 3 to 4 hours. We'll take a break, but still keep the stream going. Split it into two. So the first half I work on the game itself, this portion. In part two, I'm usually coding. Coding, in this case, a layout tool for my game. So I usually I use Restream to stream to both Rumble and YouTube, so you can pick, and I put my links in a link tree. In a link tree. Okay, anyways. Here. Okay, so load. Where is, I guess it's actually in room itself, not layout room, because layout room is just a visual thing. Load data from JSON. Wait a second, what's going on here? Room. Okay, that's this. Okay, that's this. All right. File access open. File string file closed. Just a second. Oh, I don't do any destination. These are all singles. That's why I'm confused here. And then door, it's just door. Okay. Layout room. Oh, I see. I just have X and Y. I just have a single object. I forgot when I do the metadata. So I don't really know exactly how to. Oh, interesting. So I wonder if I wonder if I can do this like let me okay, let me look at the actual file here, the thing here. Where's project? Project. Position and room and zoom. So position and X. I wonder if I can just do it like X. Oop. I'm guessing that's how you do it. Anyways, let's do this. Layout, camera. Actually, let me think here. I put it into a variable, right? I just called it layout camera, I think. Layout underscore camera, I believe. Or I just called it camera, did I? Okay, camera. Okay, if camera colon. Yeah, I know it's supposed to be indented. Tab. Uh, camera dot position. Dot position. And I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that I should be able to do this. Like so. I think. I think that's how that would work. I mean, it's not balking, so. And then we're gonna say camera dot zoom dot x equals. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna Control C, Control B. Okay, and then we're gonna say zoom like so, and then we're gonna do this, that. And we're gonna make this Y, and make this Y, and I'm gonna add semicolons. I'm starting to do less and less like semicolons, I guess, here. You know, actually just doing it by just thinking about it, just because I haven't been doing it for so long. Okay, so load project, and it will just be the file name. It'll be like project file name or something. Um, and we'll see if it buggers out on me. So just a sec here. Okay, let me check something. There's Restream? 4 people, that's good. And 3 on YouTube, huh? Interesting. Restream is just kind of weird. Here. Let's see something here. Where is let's check this out. Hey, Rook. Assuming that wasn't from earlier. I left my window open, so it looks like give me a level. Okay, evening. Okay. So that was after give me a level. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, welcome everybody, including Rook, the rookie. Okay, so and yeah, I think I'll be probably ending it in about half an hour. It's just a little weird scheduling thing that happened today, so um now what am I looking for? I'm looking for something. Restream. Okay, let's go to the chat. Okay, everything still welcome. Only um only 30 minutes left today because of a little mix up on my end. Okay, did it go? Okay, good. Okay, it went. Okay, good. Okay, so this looks like it will work. And so first thing I'm going to do is okay. And okay, so load all rooms. Go like that. And I guess here, I guess I'll do it here after removing the children and everything. But before actually loading the room, so we'll load the camera info here. If camera um, load project file name. So I guess we could do an else print camera not initialized, and that way if that shows up, then I know that I need to load the camera thing up later. Okay, so this is cleared out, and so I'm gonna go ahead and just go scene, reload, save scene, and we'll see if camera not initialized. Okay, so let's go to script. We just need to move this. I guess I probably initialize the camera down at the bottom anyways, and that's okay. So we have the camera, we have there, and then we can just go ahead and load the camera. In fact, I could just like load project file, and then I don't need this if camera part, but I'll just leave this in here. It'll be all right. No, offer the option. Yeah, I don't know anything about captioning, honestly. I'd have to actually look into it. So, um, I don't really know. I don't know. Maybe OBS can do some captioning stuff, but I have to look into it too. And my version of OBS is like version 29 because I'm running Linux Mint Debian Edition or LMDE 6, and that's based on Debian Bookworm, which is Debian 12, and Debian 13 just came out, and Linux Mint, Linux. I I always default to Linux because the name Linus is a long I, so I always think sometimes I still think Linux because I used to pronounce it that way until I heard people say no you can't you can't pronounce it like that. Um, Yeah, I'll have to figure out about the um about the captioning thing figure out a way of doing that, because it's probably a good idea anyways, because sometimes people do have their sound down. I do that sometimes myself. Um, I don't pay for any of the services right now. Um, just because I don't have the money. That's why I'm only streaming on YouTube and Rumble. Otherwise, I'd probably be streaming on more platforms. But the more platforms you add, the more money you have to pay, and I don't have the money to do that. Maybe one of these days, my streaming will get enough people that I'll somehow be able to monetize it in a way. But anyways, yeah, sorry about the captioning thing. I never even really even considered that, even though I most of the time I have all my sound down all the time, anyways. Well, not when I'm watching videos, I don't have my sound down. But sometimes if I'm on my phone and I'm like in the living room or something, I can't put earphones in my ears, and I'm watching or looking at something. I usually turn the captions on. But yeah, so um, yeah, I don't pay for anything right now because I don't have the money to pay for anything. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna save. Oh, network list server. That's not what I meant to do. I save this and scene reload save scene. Okay. Okay, so no error message for as far as the camera goes. So presumably when I start this up, this will be like normal. But if I now to zoom in, I forget to zoom in or zoom out. I forget whether I grow it or shrink it. So we're going to change this to, we're going to say 1.5. That. I'm going to save it. And I'm going to reload save scene. And I'm going to play this, and we're going to see if the zoom has changed. I think it changed. Okay. And let's make it 0.5 to see if I zoom out. Okay. And well, actually, let's just do it directly. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. Hmm. So that's good. That's good. Okay. Now the only thing is right now I can't save it. I can save it with the save button, but it's not going to save whatever this is. It's going to save whatever its default is. So I'd actually have to save it. I'd actually have to change it and then save it in the scene. And to do that, I need some sort of a control, like a button or something. So I have to figure that out next, I guess. And if I do this again, see, close that, and then I put it, it'll be like it was, right? Because it's reading from the file, which is good. I wonder, I could have it save. Let's see. I could actually call a save on exit tree, which means it would save the camera whenever I exited. So that's a idea. Reload save scene. And this is also kind of interesting here, because this is also reading from the camera file. So I could just totally do that, and I don't even need a save button to actually do that. And I don't mean to necessarily save the rooms. It's not going to save it. Well, I mean, I could have it save it when you exit automatically. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. because you might be working on it for a while and then forget about saving it and exit. I'll leave that off. I might implement that later, but I'll leave that off now while I'm still getting things working. Okay, so let's do something here. Go back to script. We're going to go ahead and save project file. That's on save button pressed. But let's also save it on exit. So let's go to exit tree, and exit tree has loaded all rooms. Remove child, remove the line overlay, editor hint, cube free, and that's the end. Okay, let's go ahead and here and put this here, like so. And we're going to see what happens. So we're going to load this up. Okay. I'm going to place this here, and I'm going to zoom out. Wait, I'm going to zoom out this. And I'm going to go ahead and close it, and we're going to see if it retains that. So it supposedly saved it, and it retained it. Awesome. And I thought I had the thing to update it to where it should update the lines. I wonder. That's weird. Okay. And let's go to 2D. That is okay, but let's go ahead and reload save scene now. Oh. Oh, because I'm doing it based on camera. I'm not doing it based on this. This is not the camera, or this is not my layout camera. It's my layout camera. Okay, that's actually just fine. Let's see something here. See, this works fine. So how come my layout tool does not do that? Here, let's go ahead and save room data. Okay, let's go to um let's check something out here. Okay, what am I trying to do? So that saving and loading is actually working. Save project file, that's fine. Um, load project file, and that's okay. That's there. Where is okay? Where's load all rooms called? Called the bird. Okay, so let me check thing here. There's a handle zoom and update overlay. So okay, that's during process. So let's actually do this before loading the camera data. This is what I want to see if this works. Okay, so how come I'm gonna have to print to see if it's huh. Handle zoom. Current zoom level. Huh. Let's see something here. Let's do this afterwards. Because maybe that's the deal. Because I'm loading a zoom value, and let's see if this works. Actually, I don't know why it doesn't. Does that mean process is not processing? They're in the scene. I'll have to do some goofy here. Print. No, I can't do it like that, can I? So let's do something here. This is the way I'll handle it. Print updating lines like that, so that when I actually select 2D, oh, updating lines. Okay, it's updating it based on, right. Okay, let's clear that, and let's run the scene. And see, it's not calling it at all for some reason. I think it has to do with the, oh, it's because of the viewport, right? Oh, what am I thinking? Of course. So basically, this is based on viewport. Okay. So I can actually, let me think something here. I don't really know the math exactly. This is only doing it. It's not that it's not handling it in the date lines. Here, okay. So current zoom level minus last zoom level. Last zoom level equals current. Okay. Okay. Um, get. Okay, so get final transform. I'm guessing it's the X component of the zoom. So it's basically zoom.x, right? So if I were to use the camera, the actual camera instead, it would be zoom.x, right? Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I have to do the thing here. And it's just a few lines of code, actually, that isn't going to affect anything. So, if, let's see, if not was it editor, int, I forget what it's called. Um, editor. Oh, I forget what it's called. Is editor hint. Oh, engine. I see. not engine.isEditor hint. Return on select and change. Okay. Okay. Engine.isEditor hint. And then current zoom level. Okay. If camera. Okay, we'll do that. Current zoom level equals camera.zoom.x. So, and hopefully that will work. And that means that it should now update whenever it's in the editor now. See? And it does. And it does fine. The lines get thinner as you get closer, and then this is kind of funny though too. If I want it to go, there we go. If I want it to move, I move it. Which is funny. Yeah, but it shouldn't move away. I guess it does, because it moves toward. Okay, so if I wanted to move it, away in a direction, I go the opposite. Okay. I don't know. It is kind of weird, I guess, but I mean that's kind of the way that's okay. Whatever, right? Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, there's no link here to the Wizard U Hall, which there'll probably be a direct. Well, I'll have some stuff in here, anyways. Okay, so that looks like that works, and it's almost 3 o'clock. So I guess I can call it. Uh, but hey, you know that's kind of cool now, right? Because now it saves the zoom level and it saves the position, and then it loads the position and the zoom level. Okay, so I know that's not a lot, but it's progress, right? Okay. I do have to decide what the next thing I should work on though on the tool. I'm not sure if I should work on like selection or like being able to move stuff. And I'm going to make it to where you can move the whole thing. Let me think. I want to be able to move everything and then save it based on. Well, it'll save like normal, like when you save it. So when I actually add it in the save button. But right now, I need the ability to be able to like click and do it. So I'll have to ask about that. From this time, it's probably going to be handled in the process function. I think. Okay. Here's where I'm kind of don't know what I'm doing. So let's here. Camera panning analysis. Okay. Okay, so I got it. Saving the camera position and zoom level, and also loading up. And that works well. Now I have to think of what the next step of the tool should be. I think I want to work on being able to pick up and move room panels around. Which requires the mouse, and I'll probably want to take Z level into. I probably want to take something like layer into account. All the Z levels are probably the same since I don't edit those. So if I want to move around the frontmost panel, do I need to set Z levels in order to make sure I'm doing that? As the solid mice and picking up them, you need to detect which room panel the mouse is over. So you probably don't have actual, since you probably don't have actual Godot control nodes with built-in mouse picking, you can do simple hit tests using the panel's global rect or bounding box. If all your room panels are drawn on the same layer, you want to pick the topmost panel under the mouse. You do need some notion of drawing order z-index options. Track a z-index per panel. Always move the pick panel to the high z-index while dragging. Option B, keep a simple array of panels in drawing order. The last panel in the array is drawn on top. When you pick a panel, move it from the array and append it to the end. It'll render on top and also naturally be the first one you pick. Since a panel is picked, start the offset from the mouse to the panel top left so it doesn't jump when you drag. On input mouse motion, update the panel's position accordingly. Okay, bottom line. You don't strictly need to manually set Z levels if you manage drawing order and always bring the pick panel to the front while dragging. It's sometimes clean if you ever start learning other things on top of the rooms like selection highlights. Not right now because I'm about ready to be done for the day. Yeah, thanks, Rook. Yep, it actually is good progress, even though it was only a little bit of time. It actually, and I also got some stuff done earlier today, too, so that was actually not bad progress either. I just wanted to know the best approach to start with. I don't know that I want to keep them in an array. The rooms are already in a dictionary, but I don't think they're ordered. The Z index would probably be the simplest solution since all I have to do is to set it when loading. Oh, no, I guess approach to start with. Z index per panel. I do have a room list, which is a dictionary. I'm not sure if it already sorts or not, because I have a sorted thing, but I don't necessarily use a sorted array though, or a sorted dictionary. Um, but I'm still not sure about how to handle this. Yes, I can do a hit test, but um, if multiple panels um, are selected, I need to be able to tell difference. I figured um, setting the z index when loading, and then when I do the hit test, I simply check the z order to see what's on top, which means tracking if there are more than one panel that um, passes the hit test. But then you also want to make sure that it doesn't have the same z index as something else. I guess it depends on how many rooms there are. So you would simply put it at the top, the highest, I think. I don't know, it's a bit confusing. Let's break it down. Z-index basics. Each room panel can have a Z-index integer. Panels with higher draw on top of lower ones. No two panels need to share the same Z-index, but if they do, the engine will usually pick one arbitrarily or based on creation order. Hit testing multiple overlapping panels. When you do a hit test, you may get multiple panels under the mouse. To pick the frontmost panel, filter the hit test results by Z-index. Pick the one with the highest Z-index. When a panel is picked and starts being dragged, you can optionally raise it to the top by giving it a Z-index higher than all the others. Track the offset from the mouse to panel position so it doesn't jump. Load time, you assign it sequentially. Indicates every panel's unique Z index, and that order can reflect creation load order. Optional simplification. Instead of tracking raw numbers, keep an array of panels in drawing order. On hit test, iterate backwards, last drawn equals topmost, and pick the first panel that contains the mouse. When moving a panel, remove it from the array and append it back. Now it's on top. This avoids constantly updating numbers and works fine if you only need one front panel at a time. I'll just keep it in mind. Um, Then what sort of complications am I looking at when I implement box selection to be able to select multiple panels and move them in unison? Another layer of complexity. Here's what you want to consider. With single panel picking, you only care about the topmost panel under the mouse. With box selection, you're checking all panels that intersect at a rectangle, so your hit disk logic changes. Select the panels if box intersects penned room. Z order during box selection. And actually, I can probably do this and only do it on a single room, but do it the same way. In other words, um, it will just it will add them to the array or whatever or something to the selected array, I guess. Moving multiple panel zeros is usually not changed. They move as a group. But if you want visual feedback, you may want to temporarily draw a highlight around the group and bring them on top visually. You can track a selection layer for rendering so it doesn't mess with actual Z index values. Store initial offsets for each selected panel to relative mouse or in the bounding box. On drag, simply on drag, apply the same delta to all selected panels. Keep in mind collisions are constraints. You probably don't want panels overlapping each other in weird ways, but maybe that's fine for now. For single panels, the anchor point is the panel position. For multiple panels, the anchor could be the top left corner of the selected box. The center of the bounding rectangle works for snapping, scaling, and alignment later. Undo group operations. If you implement and do later, it's easier to treat multiple panel moves as a single action rather than separate moves for each panel. Save the initial positions before the drag, and then update all at once on release. Draw a transparent rectangle while selecting, and maybe highlight selected panels. This is important so the user can see which panels move together. Need to test intersection against all panels, not just the topmost. Need to track multiple positions and apply deltas correctly. Z order might need temporary handling for visibility. Might need temporary handling for visibility. Must handle both box selection and single panel selection without conflicts. UI feedback. Small box selection drag example in GDScript that integrates with your current room dictionary structure. Cover selecting multiple panels, moving them in unison. This is usually the trickiest part to get right the first time. No thanks, but maybe I'll talk to you tomorrow about it. I think that's all I'm going to do for today. I kind of need to be done, so yeah. Tomorrow maybe we'll work on dragging single panels, dragging multiple panels um, that work as a selection, and then handling the Z order. I'm not really sure about how to do that exactly, or how I want to do that, or however you want to say that. The Z index, and then sometimes you'll want when you move a bunch of them, you'll want them to be on top of the other ones. So you automatically want to pull that to the top. So I don't know. Maybe I should do a sorting. I already have a sort in there that I might could just use it as is. But maybe what I'll do is I'll make them sorted. I guess um, be some sort of sorting going on. In other words, I'll take it. I'll make it the last. I don't know. I'll think about it tomorrow. I guess we'll see. Anyways, that'll about do it for today, guys. So thanks for watching, and we'll try again tomorrow, and we'll see what we get done tomorrow. thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.